CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go, Carroll Links, and by Carroll Indoor Sports Center. Game On is brought to you by Aquino Financial Services.
Hi there, I'm Pat Stetzer, and welcome back to Game On. It's the final week of January, and as is usually the case, Carroll County winter sports are heating up. We've got plenty to get into, so let's get started. It's Game On. The annual Carroll County Indoor Track Championships took place last Saturday at Hagerstown Community College, and we had repeat team champions on the boys and girls side. Manchester Valley's boys won the title for a fourth straight year. The Mavericks were the only team to crack 100 points, and they held off runner-up Century. The Knights made it close, and they finished 6.5 points behind Man Valley. Century was trying to win for the first time since 2020. On the girls' side, it was a good day for the Knights. Century won for a record 6th consecutive year, and it wasn't all that close. They finished with 135 points. Man Valley took second with 99 points, and the Mavericks held off Westminster for that runner-up finish. On the same day as the Indoor Track Championships, the Winter Cheer County competition took place at Westminster High School. 5 varsity teams participated, and Man Valley won the crown with 114.8 points. The Mavericks repeated as winter champs, and they won the 2024 fall event as well. Century was second in the winter at 108.35 points, and South Carroll finished at 105.15. Remember, though, the Cavaliers won the 1A state title last season. All right, time to preview something special here at CM Sportsnet. Our game of the week heads to the wrestling mat. We've got a good one for you on tap January 29th when South Carroll hosts Manchester Valley in Winfield. Michael Duffy joins me on the broadcast from South Carroll's gymnasium. There'll be junior varsity and girls varsity matches on 2 mats at 5 p.m., and the co-ed match will follow on 1 mat. That's when our match of the week broadcast will take place. Let's talk about these county rivals for a moment, and we'll start with Manchester Valley. The Mavericks have piled up dual meet wins this winter. They won the Bowerline Duels back in December, most recently the Kenwood Duels, and they placed third at the Westminster Duels over the holiday break. Coach Dave Dodson's lineup has 9 wrestlers with 24 or more wins on the season. Now let's talk about South Carroll. The Cavaliers' lone loss took place at the Virginia Duels tournament where South Carroll went 3-1. Other than that, it's been a lot to a little when the Cavaliers take the mat. They've averaged 62.6 points in their other 10 wins this season. South Carroll has 8 wrestlers with 20 or more wins so far. Now we'll look at the team matchup, the team stats for this matchup. You can see the overall records: 36-2 for Man Valley, 13-1 for South Carroll. The Mavericks have had those 3 dual meet tournaments. 208 pins between their regulars compared to the 165 for South Carroll's regulars. Our players to watch, our wrestlers to watch this week: Crew Boog for the Mavericks and Manny Rodriguez for the Cavaliers. Check out the overall records, a combined 58-4 with 29 pins. It's always a fun time when these 2 county rivals meet on the mat. Such was the case last season when the Cavaliers met Manchester Valley up in Manchester. Let's go ahead and take a look at those highlights. South Carroll and Manchester Valley faced off in a crucial Carroll County Athletic League wrestling dual meet on Tuesday, January 23rd, and fans expected another competitive matchup between these rivals. The Cavaliers lead by 7 points early on, but Man Valley's Crew Boog gets a pin with time running out in the 3rd period of his match at 215 pounds. Mavericks pull within 1 team point with the win. Next up, it's CJ Lamb and Declan Logan, who leads 8-4 until Lamb turns in for a 3rd period pin. Man Valley leads South Carroll 18-13. The Cavaliers stop a scoring run from the home team with this pin from Grayson Barnhill at 113 pounds. South Carroll trails 24-19. The Mavericks lead by 8 points with 3 bouts to go, and the Cavs draw closer when Brody Henry gives his team a major decision and 4 points. Evan Owen is up next for South Carroll at 132, and the junior posts another major decision. We're tied in the dual meet at 27-27 with 1 bout remaining. JoJo Gelati gives South Carroll the team win with a 2nd period pin at 138 pounds. And with that, the Cavs stay unbeaten on the season. final score is South Carroll 33, Manchester Valley 27. The Cavaliers improved to 5-0 in the county and 15-0 overall. The Mavericks keep it close but fall to 2-1 against Carroll County Athletic League foes. So it's Manchester Valley and South Carroll, this time from Winfield, our CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We'll call it Match of the Week for this week. Tune in as the Mavericks and Cavaliers face off in a big Carroll County matchup. Let's go ahead and look now at some wrestling results from the last week. Manchester Valley took down St. James as part of a tri-meet, and another tri-meet had county implications with Liberty, Westminster, and Winters Mill battling it out. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from that tri-meet with the Lions, Owls, and Falcons. First up, it's Liberty and Westminster co-ed. Sammy Peretta gives Liberty the second of back-to-back pins, and the Lions have an early 12-5 lead. But the Owls go on a run in the middle of this duel when Chase Fisher gets a pin here. Westminster leads 33-24, and the Owls go on to get the victory. Now let's check out Liberty and Winters Mill. Colton Wildsberg gets a takedown that leads to this pin for the Falcons. They have the early lead on the Lions. It's 24-10 in favor of Big Mill when Liberty's Dylan Oler comes through for his squad. He gets a pin here, stays in bounds to give the Lions some much-needed points, but they still trail against Winters Mill. Victor Tejada, a few matches later, stacks up some points in his match at 190, and his victory helps Winters Mill take down Liberty as part of the tri-meet. All right, now we have the city showdown, Westminster and Winters Mill. Landon Buckman drops his opponent here at 150 pounds, and Winters Mill is on a run of its own against rival Westminster. They had the lead there. Then Lazarus Munson caps the team win for the Falcons with a pin at 113, and Winters Mill goes 2-0 at the tri-meet against Liberty and Westminster. All right, the Carroll County wrestling standings look like this. Winters Mill is 4-1 right now, 1 year after the Falcons went winless in county duels, and you see every team above 500 in the overall standings. Some upcoming matches to keep an eye on. Westminster hosts Francis Scott Key on Wednesday, and the Cavaliers have their home match with the Mavericks. Winters Mill home to take on Catoctin, and Century in a tri-meet with Southern Garrett and Boonesboro. Plenty of wrestling still to come this season, and as always, we've got you covered. Stick with CMSportsNet for all the latest action. All right, time for the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. We head down to Century High School and check in with the Knights boys basketball team, led recently by this junior guard in his all-around game. Let's find out who it is. All right, the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week, Nate Brown, Century boys basketball. 2 big games last week, Nate, 2 county wins. You guys are starting to pile up some wins. You're through the first half of the county schedule. What's been the biggest reason that you guys have been able to put this team together so far this year, you think?
I think it's just our intensity. Every game we come out, we play hard, and I feel like we want it more than every other team. I feel like we're first on the floor. Just practices are intense. We're getting better every day, things like that.
This team graduated some guys that were key contributors last year. You brought back Nick Barron, and you played some last year too, but how do you think you've kind of fit into the lineup here in the chemistry? You're the number 2, number 1 guy sometimes on offense when you need to be. How much have you worked on being that, and how pleased are you with how that's gone so far?
I'm very pleased. I feel like I worked a lot this offseason, but I feel like even when I'm not getting things going, I have so much confidence in every single one of these guys to get the job done.
When Century basketball is at its best, what's one of the reasons why? 1 or 2 things that really give you guys the edge, you think, so far this season?
Yeah, I think it's our defense. Honestly, we're tied with the school record of holding teams to the lowest amount of points.
Okay.
So I think every night we can rely on our defense, and then that leads to good offense, and then we're just going from there.
Yeah, it's yourself, Nate McLaughlin, Nick. Yeah. A lot of guys can be defensive pests, and that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Going forward, everyone has kind of seen you once now, and you guys are perfect through the first part of the schedule county-wise. Only lost 1 game so far. The pressure's going to come, right? You know the other teams are going to be gunning for you. What's it take, though, to have a team like, hey, we know with Coach Wander, he's going to have us prepared, but we have to do the job on the court. What's the biggest thing you guys are going to have to do to keep going forward and keep stacking up wins the way you are?
Yeah, we just can't go into any game underestimating because, in this county, any team can hand you a loss. So we just need to keep executing well like we have been and go from there, yeah.
I know you scored some points last week. You also grabbed some rebounds as well. And maybe you're not the tallest guy in the county, but you can obviously get some boards. How much have you worked on becoming just an all-around better, worked on your game to be a more all-around player to give Century, not just scoring, you know?
I've worked a lot. I just do whatever I can to get wins, you know, whether that's rebounding or on the defensive end or getting it going on offense.
All right, well, good week last week. Congrats and good luck the rest of the year. It's Nate Brown, the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week.
CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Barnes-Bollinger Insurance.
Congratulations to Nate Brown, the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. And here's a look at all of our winter selections so far this season. Okay, time for a quick break. We return. It's over to the hardwood for boys basketball and girls basketball from around Carroll County. Don't go away. Game On is coming right back.
Gear up! Adult volunteers are needed for robotics tournaments. First Chesapeake, part of a global robotics community for youth ages 4 to 18, seeks adult volunteers to serve as referees, judges, and support staff at tournaments across Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, each year from November to April. No robotics experience is required. These free events inspire youth to explore STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, while fostering leadership and teamwork. Volunteer today. Sign up online at firstchesapeake.org/volunteer. Let's gear up for the future.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
There's a lot about Sarah and Tara that's exactly alike. They drink the same coffee, they have the same great job, and they both have a high-quality education. The only difference? Sarah spent her first 2 years at Carroll Community College, getting the same exceptional education, but at less than half the cost. So while Tara uses her paycheck to make student loan payments, Sarah can use hers for other things, like going out for coffee. Get started at carrollcc.edu.
Hi, I'm Steve Aquino. Creating a financial plan requires a disciplined, well-thought-out approach. At Aquino Financial Group, our mission is to provide a variety of solutions to help our clients fulfill their lifetime financial goals and dreams.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
Each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss the Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Welcome back to Game On. Let's get back into some winter high school sports. We had boys and girls basketball action last Friday when South Carroll hosted Westminster on Gold Rush night from Winfield. CMSportsNet was there for the highlights, so let's start with the girls' game between the Owls and the Cavaliers. Charlotte Harrington comes up with the ball after getting a rebound, and she's going the other way for South Carroll. Give her two, and the Cavaliers trail by 2 at 12-10. Into the second half now. The fouls are mounting up against South Carroll. Westminster goes on the attack, and when Brindley Bogue finds Riley Bunting down low for the layup, the Owls lead by 7 midway through the third quarter. Defense is one of Westminster's calling cards, and it shines on this sequence right here. The Owls get the steal in the corner, And Xavier Berge is going to get the ball to Aspen Higgs, open for another layup. Westminster rolling right now, late in the third. And a little offense moments later for the visiting team. Bogue sheds her defender and connects for a three with a few seconds to go, and then the third quarter comes to an end. Westminster leads 36-21. The Owls hold down South Carroll in the second half, and they go on to earn a convincing road victory, and they stay near the top, at the top of the Carroll County standings. 42-25 is your final score. And now over to the boys' game. South Carroll trying to avenge their loss to Westminster from back in December. Walker Falble finds some room and sinks an off-balance three-pointer that banks in off the glass. After one quarter, it's tied up 11-11. Westminster comes up short on a three-pointer, and the Cavaliers are off and running. Cam Karlofsky with a nice bounce pass right there to Benson Sommerfeld for the layup. Gold Rush fans enjoy that. Cavaliers lead by 6. A good start for South Carroll early in the third quarter. Falble comes up with the ball, and the flashy guard takes it the other way for 2. Westminster is staying close. Tonic Zita finds Shea Greenwood for a three-pointer. Westminster trying to keep it close. The game is tied at 32-32. The home team feeling it here. Foble gets into the lane before dishing it to Nate Houston for the basket. South Carroll up by 9 at 52-41. And one more time with some defense. Foble breaks away here after the turnover and gets a nice Euro step in the lane to score. He's pumped up. The Gold Rush fans are pumped up, and the Cavaliers get that revenge behind a game-high 26 points from Foble. South Carroll wins. Time to see some recent boys basketball results from around the CCAL. Century with a pair of county wins last week, and Liberty got past Man Valley as well. Over to the girls for some results. Francis Scott Key took care of Winters Mill, and you see Westminster with 2 county victories along the way. We'll stay with girls basketball. The Carroll County standings, FSK and Westminster, both at 6-1. The Eagles face the Owls on Monday in another big matchup. Over to boys hoops for the county standings. Century is still out in front, and the Knights have yet to lose to a Carroll County foe. We'll check out stats leaders now for boys basketball, as reported by the coaches of CMSportsNet. Scoring leaders are up first. Tristan West with a couple big games to jump up the list there. You see Nate Brown from Century as well, and Matt Curley and Nick Barron to round off that list of scoring leaders. Rebounds are up next, and it's going to be big man Benson Sommerfeld leading the way, 11 rebounds per game. Charlie Molman and Chase Siegel right behind him at 10.4 apiece. Assist leaders next. Tyler Hanson and Francis Scott Key and Jaden Zumbrin, both averaging 4 assists a game with 52 apiece. And the steals leaders. And it's Walker Foble and Tyler Hanson topping the list at 3 assists per game. Micah Bucket and Nate Brown not too far behind. Time to see the top scorers from the last week for boys basketball. Walker Foble had the high mark with 26 points against Westminster. Man Valley's Trevor Hottenstein matched Liberty's Tristan West when their teams faced off Friday. Girls basketball scoring leaders. Maddie Gassman from Westminster eclipsed 200 points. She has 16.8 points a game. Summer Brooks right around 15. Leah Miller missed last week's game against Westminster, but she's there at 11.7. Rebounds next. Maddie Gassman still 9.1. Leah Miller, again, just missed the game at 8.3. Mackenzie Mauder at 7.2. Assist leaders, Abby Rieger tops the list, 4.4 a game. Maddie Gassman not too far behind. Emma Jones, her teammate, at 2.7 assists per game. And the steals leaders. Once again, Maddie Gassman, 6.2 with 74 assists. Abby Rieger leads the county with her 80 and a couple games more played, so 5.3 steals per game for Abby. Time to see the top scorers for girls hoops. Most recent performances include Emma Penchik going for 20 points in Man Valley's win over Liberty. Mackenzie Mauder scoring 14 to help Century snap a long losing streak when the Knights beat Athelton on Monday. And now the upcoming games for boys basketball from around the county. Century hosting FSK on Friday. The Knights will induct their latest Hall of Fame class. The Eagles had their Hall of Fame night last week, as did South Carroll. And upcoming games on the girls' side. Westminster at Linganore, Century at Francis Scott Key, and then the big one, FSK at Westminster next week, and also South Carroll at Winters Mill. We've got boys basketball coverage coming up as Liberty visits Winters Mill on Friday night. Plus, we'll have highlights from Century Winters Mill and Liberty FSK boys games from this week as well. So stay tuned for more boys basketball coverage. And that'll do it for this week's episode of Game On. As always, we thank you for watching. A quick reminder before we go, the next CMSportsNet Game of the Week is a special one. It's Match of the Week when South Carroll hosts Manchester Valley in county wrestling action. We'll have the JV and girls matches on 2 mats starting at 5, and then join me and Michael Duffy for the broadcast, the co-ed varsity clash that follows. We're all looking forward to it. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, and you can visit our website at cmsportsnet.com. You can also watch us on cable channel HD 1072, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at CMSportsNet Action. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
There's a lot about Sarah and Tara that's exactly alike. They drink the same coffee, they have the same great job, and they both have a high-quality education. The only difference? Sarah spent her first 2 years at Carroll Community College, getting the same exceptional education, but at less than half the cost. So while Tara uses her paycheck to make student loan payments, Sarah can use hers for other things, like going out for coffee. Get started at carrollcc.edu.